So I remember the first time I saw you was on crypto Twitter. It was a video of you doing commission art for all the DeFi group. I remember in the group chat as well, there was a lot of people saying, hey, there's this girl called Jessie Morii, she's an artist, I think we should all support her. I think they're all simping over you.
Right. First of all, I did not know there was a group chat that was simping over me. That was very new. Okay.
But just curious to know, now that I finally met you, what is your process like for an NFT artist?
In terms of like my process, because I used to be a traditional artist, and then I think the process-wise is kind of similar. I think at every time and period, there's always an art movement, for example, for traditional art, and then for NFTs, there's always like a meta, for example. So I think we have like random phases of like cute meta, and then like we also have the manga Japanese meta and stuff like that. So it's kind of like where I was like picking my inspiration, and at that period of time, there was a lot of cute PFP popping out, and I was like, what do I like? I like cats, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put cats in bowls and a spoon. And then I was also looking at everything around me that was trying to inspire me, like the timeline and stuff like that. I realized there was a lot of projects out there, so I just took already done up PFP and get inspiration, and I recreated it into like
interesting. So there was a meta for Froyoverse. There was a cute anime meta.
No, for Froyoverse was more like just cute meta.
Cute
and
meta.
everything.
I think I missed that entire meta.
Yeah, I mean it's still popping up, like Budgie Penguins, and still cute by Froyoverse. Yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, it's cute meta.
Right.
So you're an NFT collector, right? So how do you always like find new artworks, and what make you be attracted to them?
I guess for art, I started off collecting art based off a very extrinsic motivation of making money. Right? So buying art blocks art. Actually, I think in terms of art in Ethereum, I think me and my friends only buy art blocks art. It's most liquidity, most attention. But it was only after I joined group chats, like FX Hash group chats, more grassroots style group chats, that really taught me how to appreciate art. The lines, the brushstrokes, the texture, the color, the forms. In the group chats, there's always people, the curators, who are really giving their own thoughts about the art, why this piece of art is compelling and why maybe we should mint it. I think most of the times the ways that I find out about art or NFTs is private group chats, crypto Twitter, definitely. Like I remember being asked this question once in a panel, right? They were talking about cultural infrastructures in the blockchain and digitalized age. So basically in the old age, cultural infrastructures are where culture is consumed. So it's like museums, exhibitions, art galleries. But I guess in the digitalized age right now, especially for blockchain or Web3, everything happens on Twitter. But also then again, there's a lot of psyops, there's a lot of shielding your own bags. So actually I take what I see on Twitter, I filter them, but also I go back to my friends, my private group chats to actually ask more questions. But yeah, I think friends, private group chats, people who you can trust are my avenues of finding out what new stuff. So you've been in space for about, I don't know, I'm going to guess like a few years. Like, I don't remember, 3 years, 4 years?
No, not that long.
Not that long? 2 years old. Wow.
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Well, time passed really quickly. I guess as a female in the space, but also as a new artist in the space, like what are your challenges that you've come across or you foresee?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I used to be a traditional artist. So a lot of my peers and like they're artists traditionally, and then like when I first heard about NFTs, a new concept, so a lot of people are really afraid of this new technology or like venturing into NFT itself. So when I was in school and I said like I'm doing NFTs, I got quite a lot of backlash and like comments about like, oh NFTs like killing the earth. But I do feel like it came from we're afraid of like entering the space, which I get because I do think NFT is like pretty complex. They're like blockchain and like stuff like that. They're big words. People don't really understand it, and I don't think there's a lot of information out there that is put into bite size for like normies to understand, which I think it's been changing recently. More and more people are setting up YouTube channels or like TikToks to talk about stuff like that, and yeah, I think it's great. I think that's the only struggle I have, because in general, I do think the people in crypto Twitter or the NFT space, they're quite nice. They're very supportive. I actually have never gotten this amount of love and support for art or design in general versus like in the real world where like all the big companies or corporate companies, when they want to like hire you, they just want you to be cheap and like high in quality. But sometimes you just don't feel like you're getting paid how much you're supposed to. But in NFT space, everyone's like, yeah, let me fully support you.
Community element behind Web3.
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree. So it's like something that I realized only recently. Like people always say that builders are the one pushing the space forward. But as you think about it deeper, right, it's actually the creatives as well. Because Web3 is still an attention economy. And attention, it can be better captured through content, whether it's like text, whether it's visual content or visual content like what you're doing. So I guess my question is like, you're an NFT artist, creatives are super important. What have you been doing, or how do you see yourself? Like, how do you bring more creatives into the space?
Right, so for me, I am setting up a little design studio that we're both working on, you know, the Web 2 side and also the Web 3 side. And so because I've been through the whole, like the normies transitioning into NFT space, so I kind of like roughly know the process. So I just bring on board really talented artists, get it into and be a part of any projects that requires them, create together and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to create like a more like chill area where artists can just like, you know, explore without the idea of like, oh my god, this place is so scary, there's no one to like guide me and I need to like research all by myself. So yeah,
that's nice. Is the studio in Singapore? Or?
Well, you know about like NFT and crypto space in general, everything is remote, so it exists online.
The studio exists online?
I guess so, yeah.
Interesting. Wait, what, is this going to be in a virtual environment or something?
We have people, artists that are like residing in New York and like other different countries.
So it's like a design collective.
Yeah, so we just
I need to talk to you more about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we have the same plans, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I would love to. Yes, branch out. So in the Web3 space, artists and creators are really important. So what do you think artists can do to provide more value to the communities they're in? Because you're running art right now, and you know I'm an artist and I'm part of your community. So what would you like people like myself, you know, try to like add value to what you're doing?
I think this is why Web3 is super interesting, right, compared to Web2, where all stakeholders of a project or communities, members of communities, the relationship between the members and the brand or the project totally changes. So in the Web2 community, people can actually just chill, right? You absorb the content, you basically pay a subscription to be part of the private community, you absorb whatever content you have in there, you just do your own stuff, you can be a lurker. But I think in Web3 communities, it's a very big shift in terms of how members or the community are actually all aligned in the belief and the purpose, where they're all working towards the same goal. So I think it's not just artists, all different types of members in a community, whether it's the legal, whether it's the lawyers, it's the creatives like yourself, the builders, and even the DJs and all. Everyone is contributing something. But I guess for artists, the easy thing to say is like fan art, right? Any type of marketing collaterals that could help perhaps build brand awareness for the project or for the brand. For our creatives, I feel that, you know, everyone has a value to give in a community. It doesn't always have to be capital or expertise or time. You know, if a person was a whole bundle of fun to be around with, I think that's a positive for any community. Web3 is a very treacherous space, right? It's not like a straight line. I think the road is always like zigzag. Sometimes go back, you know, sometimes go back up only, then down only. But because it's such a treacherous space, and you know, as a founder of a community-led project, I always want to know how I can help the different types of personas in our community, whether it's a builder, whether it's a trader, whether it's a VC, whether it's a artist like yourself, a creative like yourself. But as a creative, I would like to know like how can we help you, or what type of help do you need to actually further your goals in the space.
I mean, I do agree that, you know, Web3, we have our ups and downs and everything, and a lot of, you know, speculation here and there. But I feel like when it comes to supporting an artist, buying he or her artwork and stuff like that, I feel like it can be boiled down to like a really simple thing, is whether or not do you love this art piece or not. You know, because I feel like, especially in the NFT space, there's too many like price speculation, and for that, it really, you know, removes a lot of like joy for a lot of artists to like create what they want. Because a lot of times people just like, maybe they buy this artwork just because they think that tomorrow is going to like 10x or something, but do they actually like it? We don't know. So I just feel like you know, it's very hard to attract the right people to be part of the community and stuff like that. So I would love, I mean, it's very hard, of course, I know that, but I mean, in the ideal situation, it's like everyone just buy what they like, and it ever goes to zero, you're still proud to own something like that, for example. If you're already part of the community and you're thinking about how to support an artist, think about where this project's vision is heading towards. Like, for example, this project is trying to be the next Hello Kitty, make this whole thing into a whole brand. So if you have connection to, you know, some really amazing like figurine making or like merch production places, you can always like give suggestions or like give context, you know, because a lot of time artists, you know, we'll be like really into our work, and then we wouldn't like have the time and effort to be like, let me go source everything else and like think about all this other big stuff. But
so you guys just want to focus on your creative output, and everything else, like whether it's like merch or it's community building, you guys need all the support for that.
Of course, because I think like at the end of the day, it's just like a whole family, right? So we just help all of each other. Everyone's just happy, and like we can just grow this project together. Yeah,
definitely. Glad that you joined ART. Whatever questions that you asked just now, whatever, I think we have answers. Like the help, the support, figurines.
Okay.
Yeah. One of our Stellas actually own one of the dominant toy makers here in Singapore, figurine or collectibles, whatever you call it.
What is it called?
Mighty Jacks.
Oh yeah. I think you mentioned. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. So definitely they've been doing work for, I think, VVRC, a lot of Web3 communities. So actually you can ask him. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a connection.
Oh my god. Elroy.